The Emperor and the Nightingale. Many years ago in China, there lived an emperor. He lived in a magnificent palace so huge that even he hadn't managed to explore every corner. In the palace gardens lived a nightingale that sang so sweetly that any guests to the palace were immediately enchanted by the charming melody. One day, the emperor said to his servants, "Bring me that bird. Everyone is always talking about its musical voice. I think it's time I heard it for myself." Off went the servants into the forest and found the nightingale. It was a very plain and ordinary bird to look at, but its singing was breathtaking. They brought the bird back to the palace and showed it to the emperor. When the nightingale sang for the emperor, he was so impressed that it brought tears to his eyes. "Bravo!" he cheered, clapping. "Bravo, little bird!" Not long after, a gift arrived at the palace. It was a cage with a clockwork bird inside. The bird was just like a real nightingale, except much more beautiful to look at. It was decorated with diamonds, rubies and sapphires and other fine jewels. When the clockwork bird was wound up, it could sing one of the real nightingale's songs. It could wag its tail, which was decorated in both silver and gold. It really was a sight to behold. The bird repeated the same melody whenever it was wound up, and the emperor was so impressed by its beauty that he no longer paid any attention to the real nightingale, who, feeling that he was no longer wanted or needed, flew away unnoticed, back to his place in the woods. The emperor spent many hours and days listening to the sound of the clockwork nightingale, but soon the clockwork began to wear, and the once majestic voice of the little mechanical bird turned into little more than a noise. The emperor fell ill. He lay in bed pale and cold, and even the best doctors had no idea how to help him. One day, as the emperor lay still and quiet, the little nightingale appeared at the bedroom window. The little bird remembered the emperor's tears of joy the first time he'd heard his song, and he opened up his beak and began to trill out the most beautiful of his melodies, especially for the emperor. Upon hearing the nightingale's music, colour began to return to the emperor's cheeks, and he was soon feeling much better. When the doctors arrived, they could hardly believe their eyes. The emperor was well again. "I have found my best medicine," declared the emperor, smiling at the little bird. From that day on, the nightingale visited the emperor every day and blessed him with his beautiful song. And the emperor ruled with great fairness and great happiness for many years to come.